The wind from the prairie. In a small town nestled among the endless prairies of the American Midwest, Clara Hensley, a fourth-generation cattle rancher, stood by her barn, gazing at her gaunt herd. Beef prices had plummeted, feed costs had soared, and the bank kept sending foreclosure notices. Clara wasn't one to give up easily, but today her sturdy shoulders seemed to sag. In a moment of impulse, she penned a handwritten letter to President Donald Trump. "Mr. President," she wrote, "if you truly care about working people like us, come see for yourself. We're dying out here." She didn't expect much, just a way to vent her frustration. But then, the unimaginable happened. A week later, the rumble of engines echoed down the dirt road leading to the Hensley Ranch. A presidential convoy rolled in, kicking up clouds of dust. Secret Service agents stepped out, their sharp eyes scanning the parched fields. Clara, in her faded work clothes, wiped her hands on her apron and approached. Trump, with his familiar confident stride, stepped down from the vehicle and extended a hand. "Clara Hensley, I hear you've got something to say to me." Clara didn't flinch. "Mr. President, I didn't invite you here for photos or pretty words. We're losing everything. Land, cattle, our future. Are you here to listen or just to talk?" Trump smirked. "You're direct. I like that. Go ahead." She led him to the barn, pointing at the skeletal cows. "This is my herd. Last year I had twice as many. Now selling one doesn't even cover a week's feed. Big companies control the prices and we're left to rot." Trump crossed his arms, looking around. "I've signed the best trade deals for farmers, Clara. Don't you see that?" Clara scoffed. "Your deals might look good on paper, but out here, we're still drowning in debt." The air grew tense. The agents nearby exchanged glances, unsure where this conversation was headed. Clara's husband, Tom, emerged from the shed, carrying a bucket of water. "Mr. President, we don't want handouts. We want fairness. Banks foreclose on small ranches, while corporations get bailouts. What do you call that?" Trump frowned. "That's how the market works, Tom." Clara cut in. "The market doesn't work when it's strangled by the rich." Trump fell silent, for the first time that day not firing back immediately. Clara led him into their small kitchen, where the scent of homemade wheat bread wafted through the air. She set a plate of food in front of him: grilled beef, mashed potatoes, and a slice of bread. "This is what we produce, but we can't afford meat from the store. Don't you find that funny?" Trump took a bite, chewing slowly. "It's good," he said. Clara replied, "Good, but not enough to live on." Tom sat down, locking eyes with Trump. "Mr. President, we don't need promises. We need policy, protection for small ranches, price controls, and a stop to corporations swallowing us whole." Trump tapped the table. "What do you want me to do? Overhaul the whole system?" Clara leaned in. "No, just make it fair." "No." Trump stood and stepped outside. Clara followed, holding up her calloused hands. "These hands have kept my family alive, just like my father's did before me. But now, they're not enough." Trump studied her hands, then gazed out at the sprawling prairie. He sighed. "I get it, Clara. But change doesn't happen overnight." She shot back, "We don't have overnight left, Mr. President." Before leaving, Trump turned to her. "Ever ridden a horse?" Clara smiled. "Since I was 5. She led him to the stable and handed him the reins of an old mare. Trump climbed on awkwardly, while Clara rode beside him. "This is how we live, Mr. President. It's not just a job. It's our life." Trump gripped the reins tightly, looking unusually pensive for the first time that day. As the convoy drove off, Clara wasn't sure if he truly understood. But 2 weeks later, her phone rang. "Clara, it's Donald Trump." She nearly dropped her mug. "I didn't forget you. Something's in the works." Before she could ask, he hung up. A month later, the kitchen radio crackled to life. Breaking news: President Trump has signed an executive order boosting support for family ranches and curbing the influence of big corporations on agricultural prices. Clara and Tom stared at each other, dumbfounded. "He actually did it?" Tom whispered. Clara smiled. Maybe I misjudged him. Then one day, the black SUV returned. Trump stepped out, shaking Clara's hand. I told you I'd deliver. She nodded. I'll admit I'm impressed. He grinned. Good. Now show me how that herd's doing. They walked the fields as Clara outlined the remaining struggles, crumbling infrastructure, high transport costs. Trump nodded. All right, we'll tackle that next. Word spread fast. Other ranchers called, Clara, how'd you do it? She just laughed. I told the truth. Trump called again. Clara, I want you on an agricultural advisory board. She hesitated. I'm no politician. He replied, That's exactly why I need you. A month later, Clara stood in the White House, feeling out of place among the polished suits. But when she spoke, people listened. We need better roads, stable prices, and a future for our kids. Trump clapped her shoulder. Keep talking, Clara. I'm listening. Years later, Clara stood on her ranch, watching her thriving herd and her children playing in the fields. Tom wrapped an arm around her. You changed everything. She shook her head. We did. From one desperate letter, a movement had begun. Ranchers, farmers, those once forgotten, now had a voice. And it all started one afternoon when Clara Hensley dared to speak, and Donald Trump chose to listen.